Hey guys, so I got a question about breakups, and this particular student is going through 1 year and 4 months. He's been with this girl and now they're breaking up, and he's wondering about what advice I might have and if I've ever been heartbroken. And I believe Tate's actually said this as well, and I completely agree with it. I don't know a single man who's actually lived a decent experience who hasn't been heartbroken. I think getting heartbroken is part of the game, and it's kind of something you actually want to achieve. It's like a level you want to unlock. You want to get through that, because if you haven't already been heartbroken, then eventually you're going to get heartbroken just later. It's like just being not as experienced. You just like, yeah, you haven't been heartbroken yet. I think within every single man's journey through life, he's going to get heartbroken at least once. And I think it's a natural way of man. I think it's a very good thing to do. I think I'd be very scared if I never had been heartbroken. Then I'd be much more worried about, okay, well, it's going to happen eventually. That's at least what I think. I could be wrong, but I think it's a very good thing. And I've given this advice to actually a lot of young guys. And whenever they follow this advice, they end up not breaking up with the girl. It's very interesting, but it's just the case. You need to understand that if she wants to break up with you, cool. That's fine. Keep doing what you're doing. Use the heartbreak to work out in the gym more. You've got more free time than ever now, G. Now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about her as much. It happens, and I understand it's very easy for me to say this. I understand it's always very easy for other people to say, yeah, just get over it. Yeah, just don't worry about it. Yeah, just continue on. You're the big G, blah, blah, blah. But what I recommend is I really recommend just like you understand, okay, you've clearly failed in some realms, and I want you to understand this, which I believe is perfectly true, 100% true. She probably didn't break up with you because you work too hard at trying to make money and you go to the gym too much and you're taking life too seriously. The chances of that being why she broke up with you is actually very, 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 very slim. I highly doubt it. I've yet to see that. I've yet to see a girl break up with a guy because the guy is now working out all the time and he's working as hard as he can, and she sees that he's transforming into a better man. And maybe she complains, right? Oh, you don't spend enough time with me anymore, blah, 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 blah. Maybe that happens, right? Maybe. But I actually think that's the minority. I think the reason most guys get broken up with, and this is just the harsh reality of the world, is that she just sees that you're not really getting as far as you should be. And that could be many, many different little things. Like, it's going to sound weird, and I might be wrong, guys. Listen, I might be wrong. But like, if you're constantly trying to please her and you're listen, I might be wrong, but like, if you're constantly trying to please her and you're constantly trying to make her happy, like, it takes time, right? Here's the truth of everything. Everything takes time. Everything. It's the horrible reality of Earth. Everything takes time. So if all the time you're spent trying to please her is not being spent trying to work out and make your life better, and while she might prefer that in the short term, in the long term, in general, whoever wants to be with you for the long period of time, they'd much rather you invest in, like, instead of going to dinner with her, they'd usually rather you spend that time working out so that you're a stronger person, so that in the distant future, right? And it's a natural evolution thing. In the distant future, okay, well, now he'll be a better father because now he's stronger. He knows more about the world. He'll be able to raise our kids better. If we have a son, he'll be able to pass on the knowledge to the son better. Like, you need to understand, like, they want to see in you who they'd want their future son to be. So, it's kind of an important thing to really be making sure that you're improving yourself. So personally, I don't know a single time where a girl broke up with the dude because the dude is going to the gym too much. The dude is working too much on work. And like, basically she breaks up with him because he doesn't talk to her as much as he used to. I've yet to see that ever happen. Maybe it does, and it could. I'm not Maybe it does, and it could. I'm not saying go to the extreme and just fucking blank your chick and never talk to her ever again, because then you don't exist, right? But like, I've never seen a girl break up with a guy because the guy is taking his life too seriously. The guy's either fucking around, he's playing video games, watching TV, not working out, his health is deteriorating, his mental strength is deteriorating, and in this downward spiral, what they usually do is they realize that, okay, my life's getting worse, so I'm gonna try and hang out with my chick more, I'm gonna try and please my chick more. And by doing that, he's spending all his time thinking about how to make his chick happy while his life is going down. So he's getting weaker and poorer and stupider. And then it's just kind of like they get repelled by it. It's that downward spiral which scares girls. And I think that's a big reason that they end up breaking up with guys, especially after long periods of time. So you need to understand this as well. Let's suppose you're in the 6 months boot camp. You've joined, you've been working your ass off. You haven't been very, very successful. And she sees that you're working on this all the time, but you need to understand she might not believe that this is the best move on the board, right? There's a reason. A lot of people, they see this and they're like, okay, well, you're just making videos. Like, this is a waste of time. This is like playing video time. This is like playing video games. And this, again, is why I always say, always, you need to work out every single day. If you are not getting stronger, if your physical body is not physically looking healthier and stronger, there's going to be a lot of faith lost on you. You're not going to have that, okay, well, I don't really know what he's doing. He's talking about sales and marketing. He's not rich. He works all the time, but he calls it work, but he's just watching these videos of this guy and posting videos on social media account. Clearly that can't be how you make money. And he's getting weaker and he's thinking about dropping out of school. You need to understand the amount of doubt that it puts into people when you don't go the traditional route. So that's another thing that I've seen often, is that the guy does something kind of untraditional and the guy hasn't really convinced those around him, including his girlfriend, that is actually a very, very, very good use of his time that he's taking very seriously. Your life will get so much better if you are always working out every single day. I promise you, your life will get so much better in so many different little ways you've never even thought of. Your parents will listen to you more. Everyone will give you less grief. No one can beef you anymore on your decisions. If you get your health truly in order and you make sure that you're a very, very healthy individual living a very healthy lifestyle and you are clearly getting stronger every single day, you need to understand that no one can really say what you're doing is bad anymore. I don't care if you literally play video games all day and just work out. Anyone who tells you that what you're doing is bad, you at least physically, and I mean literally at a primal level, their body, their brain says, okay, well, he'll probably live a very long time and he could probably beat me up and he's probably stronger than me in every way. He probably even feels better than me. He has more energy than me. So is what he's doing really wrong? And I'm talking about if you're literally a video game addict who just works out. Now imagine if instead of video games, waste all your time on video games, which is bullshit. Imagine if now you're also trying to get rich in all your spare time, even if you're not rich yet. But what I mean is working out every day, I think super important. I'd love to see, and you can genuinely DM me or tag me or something. Tell me the truth. Maybe you are working out every day. Maybe this is bullshit, but 99% of breakups, I believe, are because of that downward spiral. And the downward spiral is where you are uncertain yourself about your future. You are not working out and your health is starting to go down. You have a girl, so you're starting to worry about your girl leaving. So now you're starting to spend more time with your girl. You're starting to text her more. You're trying to keep her more. Now your brain is constantly thinking about how to keep this girl. And because now your brain is trying to think about how to keep this girl, you're not focused on making your life better. And if you're not focused on making your life better, your life keeps getting worse. And I hope you can see how that downward spiral is. Now you're spending more and more time with your girl. Your life continues to get more and more worse. And you have to understand from her perspective, it's like, okay, well, this dude talks to me more than ever, but his life's all becoming in shambles. And I guess he wants me to rescue him from his life. It's not very convincing argument. It's not really a good position to be in. And again, I've never seen a guy get broken up with because he speaks to his girl less and spends less time with her. And especially if you explain it smooth. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I can't hang out. I need to get this done. I can't be poor. We can't be poor. I can't allow it. I need to work on this. I'm sorry. Or something like that. What's she gonna do? She's gonna say, oh, you don't hang out with me anymore. You're just too busy busy trying to get rich for us. What? That's not going to be any reason she works out. Same thing. Sorry, have to go to the gym. No, I have to. You know, I want to take this very seriously. And for my future sons, I refuse to be the type of father who's weak, you know, so I need to. It's what I'd want our son to do. Like, bro, she's not gonna break up with you if you start saying this shit. Why don't you talk with me as much anymore? I know I've just been super busy trying to really get us out of this slum. I'm really trying to succeed. My mind is constantly racing on work and how I'm gonna make sure that I can take care of my family and our family and make it so that our future son would be proud. I want to become that man who my future children will want to be and look up to. And I need to work on this. I know it's hard. If you can just stick with me during this period where I'm working my ass off. I know I'm not talking to you as much. Bro, I just don't see her breaking up with that. And I've never seen it. I've genuinely never seen it. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't talk to people that often. Not in that way to where I know completely about the relationship and stuff. But every single breakup I've ever seen, ever, has always been the downward spiral one where instead the guy's life's starting to get unsettled, right? It's uncertain. There's that uncertainty in the air. And during that uncertainty, maybe he starts to waver, right? Like, I'm trying to think about me from my personal experience. Like, I wasn't at my tip-top shape. I couldn't afford school, so I'm broke as a joke. Don't even know where I'm gonna live. Basically homeless, although she was already with me when I was basically homeless. And then my health started to get also out of order. I wasn't eating right, I wasn't working out right, and just my life was getting worse. That's always what happens during a breakup. I've yet to see a breakup ever initiated from the girl where the dude's life is just getting better. I've yet to see it. Maybe it exists, but I personally have yet to see it. So to any of you guys who are going through a breakup, or any of you guys who are in relationships right now and not going through a breakup, but maybe you're starting to see that downward spiral happen. My only advice is work out every day. That's the most maybe you're starting to see that downward spiral happen. My only advice is work out every day. That's the most important one. Become physically strong, really work out every day. And then use your time well. Use your time on very serious things such as trying to make money. Really think about where you want to be in the future and try and spend all your time on trying to become a successful individual. And I promise you that anyone who truly sees a guy who's a Terminator, who wakes up and as long as he's awake, he's working on something productive and he's very serious about making it so that he wants to become a man who his son would be proud to be. He wants to become a man who he'd want his son to be. If you start really thinking in those very serious, very life terms, and you really go after it every single day and people can see you're serious, I just don't see any girl who will see that and like leave that. It's just like evolutionarily, it just doesn't make sense in my mind. Obviously, there's more to that. Obviously, there's more. Don't get me wrong. Like you need to be a bit charming, etc. But I think that's really why most guys get broken up with, especially because if you've already got the girl for a year and 4 months, she knows you quite well. She clearly liked you at the beginning for some reason, but I can almost guarantee that she sees you in a downward spiral. But tell me if I'm wrong. I'd love to know if I'm wrong. Sorry for this long lecture. This lecture is actually quite unimportant for most of you guys who are just working on the cause, trying to become successful. So I'll try and put that this is an optional lesson, but just for those of you guys who might maybe want advice in this, I know there's some of you young guys, but also heartbreak is good. I want to remind you guys that heartbreak is good. It's part of the story. It's what every single person should go through. And I think it's a very important part of development. So don't feel bad if you're getting heartbroken. Don't feel bad if you're getting broken up with. What I've noticed in my reality of life about why most people get broken up with, I've never ever seen it be that the guy is so focused on working out, becoming physically strong, and becoming rich. And when I say focused on, I mean succeeding as well, right? Not just saying words, oh yeah, no, I'm too busy working out, and then you don't work out at all. That will never work. That's lying. Lying never works. I mean, actually, you are too focused on trying to get strong and rich to be thinking about other bullshit. Like, I've never seen a guy get broken up with if that's been the case.